get one. Sue?
Well, the first question that I heard, or the last question that I just heard, was about quantifying or trying to put a face on how many or what the situation is going to look like within the Native community. And we came down today, both Sean and I were around in that 2000, 2001 time period in Toronto, and very much involved in that whole work and energy and campaign that was kind of encapsulated by defeating the Harris government. And there was a lot of people that were involved in that. I mean, OCAP, I think, sort of kicked the ball rolling, and then the Ontario Common Front came into play, and there was student groups and labor unions and other social justice organizations and First Nations communities. And I don't really know how it was that people together came to the feeling that, we're going to work a little bit harder, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper, and we're going to go a little bit farther to bring down that government at that time, that Mike Harris government. It had been in power for many years, and people were suffering, and somehow people said, this is the time, and we're going to do that work. So for me, when we all sit here and we listen to this tonight, and some of us go home and we live it, to me the question isn't so much, the question tonight, with the people that are here, isn't so much quantifying what Native communities are going to do. And I'm not asking this looking for a response right now, but I think the question is, what is the non-Native community going to do? Because the government at Queen's Park and the government in Ottawa, that's not Mohawk government. That's not First Nations government. That's the government of the Canadian people. And I guess I just hope that whatever obstacles or distance or, no pun intended, feeling of reservation around getting involved in the shit that is fed First Nations people day in and day out by the governments that aren't their own, is something that people can take hold of and harness and say, we are going to work as hard as we did in 2001. This is something that we are prepared to stand the line and to go to the mat for. And that, I hope, is if I have one hope tonight of what people do when they go home and they go to work and they go to their meetings and they go back to their organizations, that is what is taken from this. Because it doesn't have to be June 29th. We're talking about a process that's not going to be resolved in one day. But we're also talking about a process that it's going to take that kind of resolve and that kind of commitment and that kind of work. And it doesn't have to just be left to the shoulders and the burden of Indian people.
I think we're going to give Sue the last word of the night. So thank you very much for coming, and you know what you have to do.